That's a good one.
It's the Sam Sylk Show. All day jamming. Come we have joy in the madness. Sam Sylk Show. Take him on the road. How this story goes. Unpredictable. Sam Sylk, Sam Sylk. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sam Sylk, Sam Sylk. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sam Sylk, yeah.
Hey, we about to get this thing started. What's up to everybody watching us live here on Facebook, YouTube? What's up? What's up? About to get our relationship hour on. What's going on? And tonight it's definitely going down in a major way. We got some good conversation, and these questions have been picked by our audience, our group. We got so many questions I've never ever gotten to. People be like, how come you didn't get to my question? 'Cause sometimes one question we might end up on it for 20 minutes. What's good? Tacoma is with us again, once again, second and fourth Tuesdays.
Hello.
What's up? What's up?
What's
How
going
you been?
on? I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right. How was last night's show?
It was good.
It was good?
It was good.
It was
yeah.
good? What you talk about last
Yeah.
night?
I talked about how much you should tell your partner in your current relationship from your past relationship.
Ah, that's good. That's good.
And that's what we talked about.
That's good. Now, you going to be able to handle us today. It's two bros up here. You got to hold the women down.
Yes, it's testosterone heavy.
Tyrone,
That's
you ready?
Okay.
So a lot of pressure.
Okay.
How you been, bruh?
I'm good, man. No complaints. Yourself?
I'm good. So I said about 3 weeks ago, I said I wanted you to come on the panel.
About, just about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago. And
Made
so
it.
don't get shy on the panel, because I know it changes sometimes from out there to up here. Don't hold back. All right?
Let's go.
All right, yeah, let's go. All right. All right, and again, you guys, we're at 21300 Libby Road. Pull on up, join us for the conversation, absolutely free. Get your tacos on, get your drink on, and enjoy this great adult conversation. What's good? All right. Coming out the gate.
Right into it.
Why can't I just cheat back after he's cheated on me? How come I just can't cheat back? He cheated on me. I want to cheat back.
Because two wrongs don't make a right? I don't know. I mean,
Man, if she don't move on and get their mind and their life together,
Right.
man, listen.
Yeah.
Ain't no cheating back. Just move on. You grow from that. You learn from that. It wasn't right. You do better next time. Just keep it pushing.
Cheat back doesn't. Sometimes it can hurt people more than how they got hurt. Even though you know what I mean. Sometimes they add more stuff onto it, and now you got the coochie beat up. He don't care about you. He just beat it up, and now you think you won up, but you're not. And then some of the women will look for him to care a little bit. You know, feel sorry for her because her man cheated on her. No, he's just gonna beat it up for you. Just like on BMF. You saw when Snoop rubbed her? Oh, I'm telling it.
you
When
telling
the
too
pastor
much.
rubbed the wives.
no, I didn't see that.
Oh, okay, I won't tell
I
them
haven't
more.
watched
Messed
it.
up.
Yeah, and then when you cheat, basically, because they say, well, how come? Well, I forgive him, he can't forgive me because, yes, it's always double standards, but in this double standard, you're now what that other woman was to him. You was to another guy. You know what I'm saying? Unless he was really trying to wife the other chick up. Because then that hurts you even more. Oh, you was trying to wife her up? You was spending time with her? You was telling her stuff? She know little this? Y'all know that. Man get to talking.
She was sold herself for less than that McDonald's meal that we talked about. Might as well just went to McDonald's.
Right. All right, here we go. Next question to have. How much space alone time should people in a relationship give each other? How much space / alone time should people in a relationship give each other? Who want to hit that first?
I went first last time.
Oh, all right, I'll go first. I think it's dependent upon the couple and what people need. Like, you know what you need. You should know what your partner needs. So, whatever time you guys mutually agree on. But I think everybody needs a particular amount of, time to themselves just to sort of decompress and be okay to even be able to be with their partner. What say you, Tyrone?
I mean, I agree. I mean, you just got to feel it. I mean, you know how much space is too much or too little, and you just got to respect your mate and respect the time that they need to themselves. That's individualized. It's based on your relationship.
Right.
See, when y'all first get together, y'all want to be all hugged up and you do all that. Go, what you doing? No, what you doing? Then look, after a while, you need some damn time, right? You know what I'm saying? You go downstairs, watch your movies, and you watch your movies, and you spend your time. Then y'all come back together and do your thing. You gotta have some time to miss each other. Go away for 3 damn days. Then that may for real. Why not?
How often?
Not all the time. I ain't saying every week. I'm saying you should be able to go on some trips and do something, because you need that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying all the time, but you need that. But for some people can handle it, some people can't.
Yeah, some people don't want they mate spend the night in hotels away from them.
Yeah, they
That's
don't.
true now.
That's crazy.
They don't. They don't.
That's crazy, but that's the reality of some people.
Cause you know what it is? They know they make friends.
Right. They don't
Is that
trust
we
their
calling
mate.
it making friends?
They know they associates. They know who they going. They know everybody in the group. All men know which one of they girl friends is more likely to be the loose one.
Yeah.
All the women know
True.
what guy is probably gonna do his thing no matter what.
Right.
Out of his. Okay.
Locked up.
Hey, a lot. You're right.
Yeah.
How domestic
That put a lot of
violence went up
relationships
like
to the test.
crazy.
Yeah, man. A lot of people broke up during the pandemic.
A whole lot.
Yeah. A lot of people. That pandemic either made you closer or made you say, I can't wait till we get outside.
Make it or break it.
Yeah. Next question. How do you tell someone you like that you just want to, hump them and be friends? Yeah, hump and be friends.
So you don't really like them. You just want to hump and be friends.
How do you tell someone you like that you just want to hump and be friends?
Just like the physical.
I guess you tell them, right?
I mean, shit, you grown. I mean,
Right.
I guess you just communicate. But you know what? Let's say this. Like, the reality is, like everybody say, just say it. But if I was, hey, you know what? I think we cool. Let's just get together from time to time. What type of
Yeah,
how
you
you
be
think I am?
you be offended. Yeah,
you're gonna be
for sure,
offended.
for
So
sure.
It sounds best to say just be honest. Let's just keep it real.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is, we really can't do that.
A lot of people don't like the truth.
Yeah. Most people don't like the truth. Like, when they say they want it, but they're not really ready.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
Is it how we deliver the truth, though? You think that makes it a little bit better?
What
how
type
we
of-
deliver the truth?
What type of delivery would be acceptable? I mean,
That's a tough one. Now, that's definitely a tough one. But I don't know. I think if you come at it the right way, but Jason.
So
Yeah.
I think it was.
Is this mic on?
Hello. Okay,
there
there
you
you
go.
go. It was, for me, the female said she just wanted to. She ain't want a relationship. She just wanted to have some fun. And I said okay to that. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a way, like you say, it's a delivery. So she told me she just wanted to have fun. She didn't want a relationship.
Did she tell you just like that, or did she sugarcoat it, or was she just like, ah?
I want you to beat this thing up, Jason.
You know,
You
like,
know.
was it tactful? Did you feel, did
No,
you have
we was just out on dates, so we was just kicking it, and then after, the next day, she said she liked it. She just wanted to just.
Oh, this is after you hit
Oh,
it.
so it had happened already.
Yeah, and she basically just said she wasn't trying to get into no more relationship. She was done with relationship.
See, even women do play the same game. See, even women do that.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
same
that's
thing.
people.
But
It's a
that's
people
one of-
thing.
That's one of those double standard situations, though.
Yeah.
Because women, I've been approached like that before by women. But if I come the same way, then there's an issue. I don't know. I just think, just be honest. I mean, see where it leads you.
Yeah.
Say what you want.
Especially when you're a certain age, I think some of it comes with maturity and you know when and how, and you just you know what to say and how to say it. I think that right. I think a lot of people are afraid of rejection, or they are afraid that they may offend someone. So then they send a representative and see what kind of happens.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think everyone has been kind of guilty of that one, that scenario, because you don't know.
Let me say this real quick. I think that we all try to get into that position, and once we get into that position, once it happens, then it's easier to say what it is that you want. But first you have to make it happen. So if that's all you want, you might do a little whining and dining still. And then after it happens, it's like, you know what? I don't want a relationship.
Right.
I just want to keep doing what we're doing, and
Right.
I like this.
I
And
think
you're
that's
not
what
wrong with
happens
that.
more.
Because that actually happens because with some people who have the intent to actually want more, but they really didn't know. They didn't really know it was the lust that was leading them. And then once that sex cracked, then it was like, oh, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm straight. Yeah. I'm sorry, Jason. I'm sorry. What is more important in a long-term relationship? Stability, financial, you right over there, or love? What is more important in a long-term relationship? Stability, financial, or love? I think all three of them go together, don't you?
I think love is more important. When the finance is gone, the love is going to be what's going to hold you together.
That's true.
What if it's unstable?
Yeah, you got to ask.
I don't think relationships are really all. I mean, like, you got to define what is stable. Because I think
Create
all
the
relationships
stability.
do this sometimes.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's unstable.
Shit, depend. Right, it depends on who you ask.
Roller coasters are stable, but they go up and down.
Yeah.
You can still have stability in the, in the ins and outs and in the ups and downs. It's about not falling apart.
Yeah, but sometimes people don't know that. They don't know. And you got to go through it to find out.
But look, a lot of unstable relationships, that's what's common these days. Like instability and everything is becoming a norm. Look how many toxic relationships we got. Everybody holding on to each other because the sex is good, or because you look good, or because, but you got nothing. You got bringing nothing else.
Right.
We can't even have a decent conversation.
Right.
You can't spell.
Did you say you can't spell?
You can't. I mean, there's a lot of ignorant. Well, let me just say, unintelligent people. Like none of us want to be with nobody that can't compliment us. That can't, help us out in some type of way. But we deal with them folks because
All the time.
whatever the reason
All the
is, it's
time.
toxic.
Yeah, toxicity is something that is commonplace, I think, in today's relationships. People don't take the time to, sort of get into something or cultivate something that's good and healthy.
Yeah, that time is something. Yeah. People want to just jump into it. I think a lot of times, again, it starts off. You start off the beginning off of those feelings and emotions, And then lust leads that you don't ask the right questions, or you don't even listen to when someone's talking, because you just say, ooh, I can't wait to hit that, or damn, she's so fine. And then you still not trying to be yourself. So then you wind up 100% yourself. And so you wind up getting caught up, man, this ain't no woman thing. This is man and female getting wrapped up and caught up. And then one day you sitting there asking this question: what's more important?
After you done got caught up.
Right. Yeah. People don't be paying attention, man. That'd be the problem. You know?
And you
They
try
don't
to
want
find
to.
reasons to stay.
And then some people, you know you ought to, but you know what you should do, but you don't do. Especially if you've been through several relationships, several.
Why do you think that is, though?
Because they haven't matured. They're happy with that, satisfying that. You know what I'm saying? Going back to being toxic. Some people in relationships, I see a lot of people, I read a lot of letters, I talk to people, we see people come. Some people, it's not functioning unless it's dysfunctional. Yes, that's the norm for them. If it's no drama, it's not real. This is boring.
No, that's
You
true.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
Sad truth.
Yeah. Next question. Why do we compete so much in our relationships? Why do we compete so much in our relationships? Why do couples do that?
I don't understand that.
What's that about?
You're on the same team. Why are you fighting against each other? Why are you trying to outdo each other?
I would think that it could be the one person that kicked off the competition that may not be that competes, because they may not be secure with who they are and don't know who they are yet, and then they look at the other person and the spirit of jealousy kicks in. They don't even know it. They may start making certain comments, and that jealousy can kick in because they have not reached or even figured out what it is that they want to do or who they are. So then it becomes the one-up, and then it can become the other person can be so into what they do that they won't even take the time to acknowledge what their significant other, what he or she does or what they do, kind of because they caught up all into
What they're doing.
into what they're doing. And so that could create some friction.
But I would think that you still recognize that you're on the same team, and people have a tendency just to let things go, as opposed to like the moment that you notice that I'm feeling some kind of way, or your partner's feeling some kind of way, then it's time to have a conversation, and it's time to sort of nix that. I'm sorry, I'm nervous. This is gonna fall. You push that up? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, your food fell that time when you was live.
No, see, you don't have to keep bringing that
Some
up. Sam.
relationships are, again, it goes back to, sometimes it could just be the toxicity. Sometimes you could be in a relationship and not be on the same team. Sometimes when you talk about this jealousy, sometimes the insecurity could be within the jealous person.
Mm-hmm.
Or it could be a situation where, let's say, a guy could feel like he's just an alpha male and he want to stick his chest out, but his lady is just the same. She want to stick her chest out. Now it becomes a competition on who's going to run the show, when they got to realize that they just may not be good for each other.
Right.
Yeah.
I would agree on that. Type your comments, leave your comments on here. We're going to read some of your comments in just a bit. And we are live here at Sylk's 21300 Libby Road in Maple Heights, Ohio. Pulling up, touchdown to see us. Or if you just want to order online, you can do Uber Eats, DoorDash, and they will deliver it to you while you get some of this great conversation. Assumptions in a relationship.
Check.
Assumptions in a relationship. What's wrong with friends with benefits?
I mean, nothing if y'all okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if y'all, then it's fine, right?
Right.
If it's mutually acceptable and agreeable, have at it. Yes.
That's right. Then you need to be clear. See, the thing is, people are not clear. And again, it's not, you have to ask what you want. Okay, you can't do like what Little Kim did with Biggie, and then asked him in the middle of sex, "What are we?"
Oh, you're never gonna get the real answer.
No.
No. That's not the time.
No.
That's not the time to ask questions.
So you need
Whatever you want to be.
right.
What you want?
And you have to ask the question, and you cannot be afraid
Or upset.
or upset with the response that you're going to get. And I think that that's what happens is that you go along with it until someone is uncomfortable. Now, if y'all have the conversation, let me help you out. If y'all had a conversation, like, what is this? And she says, well, I don't want to go no more than what we are right now, but I like this. Then you have to agree to that. If you want to know what is this, don't let nobody hit it one time and you want more and you don't say nothing.
Yeah.
Or you want to define what it is that we're doing.
Yeah.
It's your responsibility. You didn't get tricked. You just didn't take the responsibility yourself to ask the question about who you are, what this is.
Now we also know sometimes you can ask questions and get lies for answers.
But at least you asked the question.
See, I say this every week. People lie all the time,
They do.
especially men. We lie all the time, right? I'm gonna just keep it real, right?
Yeah.
Not me, but
You
men
said
do, right?
last time 90-something%.
I believe
You in the-
a good 98%.
Women lie more
It
than
went
men.
up 98%.
They lie better. I think they lie better.
Yeah.
But I'm. Yeah. I think it goes again back to communication, right? Mm-hmm. Like at the beginning of this question, it says something about assumptions in relationships, right?
Yeah.
Whatever it is that you decide,
Hey.
whatever it is that you decide you want to do, you got to be upfront with it. All right. But the reality is, most of us, like in the moment, we enjoy the moment and we go where the moment leads us, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is kind of tough. I mean, like really.
Yeah, again, those feelings, even in not a committed relationship, those feelings and that lust, that Adam, we call it, tries to control the whole thing. You can't let it. You gotta just say. You gotta be able to say it, man. And if they get upset at man, I mean, hell, that's on them. But at least you said it.
I mean,
excuse me, I'm sorry. You're in this situation, you ask that question, and the other person says, I want it to be this. If their words aren't matching their actions, if the person says, I want it to be serious, but they acting like they're not, I, as the other person, have to decide if I'm going along with it or not.
that's right.
I love y'all's questions every day. My own personal favorite response is govern yourself accordingly.
Well, you would say that.
If you ask a question and you get an answer, but the person's answer doesn't match their actions, govern yourself accordingly. If you're not getting what you want, you have all the autonomy over you in the whole world.
That's right.
So if you say I want to be in a relationship, and you say, yeah, let's be in a relationship, but you're not giving me the relationship vibe, you should be strong enough in yourself to go, you know what, you're not giving me what I need, so I'm going to go ahead and move on.
Sometimes you have to walk away
And
if
stop.
it's not
Yeah,
what
you're
you
right.
want.
And let me help the ladies out. Let me help y'all out. Stop with all the why questions once a man has told you what it is.
Well, what? But you can't ask why.
She might ask why right now.
Why exactly right. Why
Yeah, y'all
put
do.
if he was really blunt and you felt it and you had that jerk, accept it,
Or don't.
move on. Yeah, like she said, govern yourselves accordingly, as we always say.
Hey, lastly, I'm gonna leave this alone after this. Courtship. Courtship is important. A lot of people don't do that anymore. We really all skip that part of the relationship, right?
Yeah.
So if people really knew how to date, like a lot of these questions wouldn't even exist.
Right.
But we have these questions because people want to do what they want to do, how they want to do it, and they don't really understand the whole idea of dating.
Getting to know.
Getting to know each other. It's not about just, hitting the sheets, even though we all want to do that. I mean, hell, I love it, but at the end of the day, we need to get back to courting and getting to know people before we decide to give them the goods and let that be the determining factor.
Can I ask y'all a question?
No. No, go ahead.
Why?
Why?
Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. But do you guys think do you think that sex legitimately changes folks in the course of a relationship, particularly early on before it's rooted and established?
Absolutely.
Why?
See?
Well, you do need to ask why questions in some cases to get to the root of it.
You do. That's why I said when he says that and it jerks you, and it's like, God, I can't believe you said that. It is what it is.
Yeah, that don't even matter.
And then you need to make the adjustment. But if y'all just having a conversation, yeah, of course. Why? Well, why is that? But if not, like, you know what I'm saying?
Why?
Right. That's funny. All right. What is this one? Is that what is that? NIP. I see that part. What's that? Is that a HIP? What's that?
That's the end of the relationship.
Oh, that's the end of the. Oh, they didn't finish it. Okay. All right. Next question. Can you have a business relationship with someone who likes you sexually?
No, that ain't good.
Nah.
That's not good.
It's gonna mess the deal up.
No, not unless that's your spouse already.
It's gonna mess the deal up.
Yeah.
And all your money up. Okay.
I think it would depend.
Huh?
I think it depends.
Business.
No, it depends on the maturity of the people. Like, just because I want you sexually don't mean I'm about to mess up our business deal. This could change lives for me and you. I'm not about to. I think it just depends.
Yeah, well, I would say this. I would have to agree with you. It depends on the maturity of the individuals. Some people understand and know what business is. Some people are not about to, even when people do wrong, you might want to get this one, even when people do wrong, they have some type of integrity about what they do. They ain't about to mess up some money. They ain't about to mess up down there, years down there. They don't want their name to be shamed over some ass. So again, even though it's business, it's no different than you choosing somebody that has nothing to do with business, because they can act a goddamn fool too and do some wild out stuff. Here's a great example. Tiger Woods. That's not a business deal. But old girl hitting him with $30 million
Because he put her out.
because he kicked her out. That was funny too how he kicked her out. That was dope.
Yeah, right.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised though if she got that money. But anyway,
She probably
Yeah.
will. She probably will.
But Sam,
Yeah.
when them souls intertwine, though, that business is different. When them souls intertwine,
I hear you, but it depends on. Here's why. There are a whole bunch of people who have screwed around on the job and theirs didn't break up. Plenty of people
Like, look, nobody
have
knew.
successfully had these relationships. You don't hear about them because they was the mature adults about them. The other ones was somebody called feelings. Oh my God, I can't take it. I can't believe you did this. Or he becomes a fool and starts stalking. I'm not saying that you should do it, but I'm saying is it depends on the people you connect with on doing it. I wouldn't advise it, but many people have worked. Many people have met each other on a job because they with that person more than they probably be with anyway, and they wind up getting married. You don't hear all that success on that. But there are people who have done that. And there are people who had affairs on the job. Other than Idoko, and then, what's his name, Aduku? Aduku? Who? A dumbass. and now that was dumb. That was stupid. You can't hit the boss wife. That was dumb. What did you expect to happen? And she was a white woman. And you were in Boston and you're a black man.
Double down.
Okay. Here's a good one. I'm glad we're talking about that. business. It didn't turn out good for them. Well, for him, I mean, he still got their pay, they still got their check, but TJ and what's her name, Amy?
Is that her name?
They still robot. They still together.
Right, but they're both are unemployed.
But they both gone because it kind of backfired because they were going to keep him, but until the other women who got hit was mad that he chose her. No, I'm just being real. That's what happened. You never heard nothing about these other women that TJ allegedly had been with. All of a sudden, he chooses. Can I just be blunt?
Go ahead. Say it like it is.
He chose.
We thinking.
He chose the white woman, and the black women got upset and said, "Oh, you gonna choose this woman?" And we had fun. I wasn't the one. Well, he talked to me too, and that's the only reason why both of them not there. Get the mic.
If it's a boss employee situation, that nothing good's gonna come from that. But if you are equals, if you're co-workers, not boss and employee.
And that's what those two were. They were
peers.
They were peers.
By all means, do what you do with your peers, but bosses, be careful about messing around with your employees because that can get in your pockets in a bunch of different ways.
Yeah.
Because this is on social media, I won't use no name.
You won't use one?
Or no descriptive details. I used to work at RTA, and I was just a driver. And there was a supervisor that was way, way, way higher than me. I mean, way higher than me. And we had a great time for a long time. And at the end of the day, all I can say, for me, I never thought about going to rat her out. I ain't never think about going to tell on her. When it was over with, it was over with. I think it just depends on the maturity level of the people that's involved.
Yeah.
Period. Like for me.
Yeah. I would agree with you. I would agree on that. And again, that's one out of many that probably won't work. And it also, again, I'm just going to use, a lot of times use my imagination. So I don't know how much time y'all spent that y'all got a chance to kind of know or figure each other out.
On the clock and off the clock.
Okay. Yeah. So, but TJ
said next.
but as we even talk about the business side, and I'm glad we're talking about this because your relationship is going to be a business too if you get married, because y'all got to make business decisions. And right, either way it go, if it don't work, 9 times out of 10 you got to pay. Whether it was a person at work or was a person at home.
Good point.
Hush money or split money.
Right. Hush money or split money. Oh, boy. All right. That was a good one. But that's a damn shame about TJ and that lady Amy, ain't it? That was crazy as hell. Good Morning America. They was doing. I was roofing TJ, man, all the way from now. He got to go back to BET.
I couldn't help but notice that once it all started going bad, a whole bunch of stories came out about him and a whole bunch of other coworkers.
Yeah.
But they never slandered the white lady.
No, they're not gonna do that.
No,
Even black folks ain't gonna slander the white person, cause we some very trained people.
But they was digging up every.
They knew it was a woman here from Cleveland that said that she was one that her and TJ got together. You ain't never told the story all this time until he got with the white woman. You felt some type of way.
She was waiting on that lottery ticket to hit.
That's what it was. And then y'all see they replaced him with a dude that looked just like him. Sure did. And when you saw it, right? And when he was standing next to that white woman, like, don't hit it. Don't hit it. You better ask TJ. And I would, I mean.
What you say, you better ask TJ?
And I'm saying, bro, did TJ ever see Amy without that makeup?
I mean, they went camping. Sure he did. They were
all right.
hard.
I'm wrong.
She got
for
it
that.
first.
I'm wrong for that. I'm wrong. I'm sorry. TJ from down there with
No, it's cool.
my family down there in Arkansas. All right, next one. Y'all ready? All right, let me see. I'll be trying to read these handwriting. All right, let's go to another one. Is there ever a time when it's okay to not go home after night out?
I mean, if you live by yourself,
Why would somebody ask that question? Yeah. All right, let's go to the next question. We already know the answer to that one. What is the best way to let someone know you are looking for a relationship, but you want to take your time? Don't rush. I don't want to rush it, but I'm looking. I don't know. What y'all got to say about that? Make it plain, make it clear.
communication.
You just say
She
it.
said it in a question. She answered,
Yeah.
answered her own question with her question.
Yep.
Or answered her own question with his question, whoever.
Right.
Yes. All right. Yeah. I'm sorry I had to respond to this text. All right. Yeah, did we answer that question? I'm sorry.
No, the question answered the question.
Right, okay.
It was answered.
It was answered already, okay. And that's the other thing. Why y'all be knowing the answer? What do they call that, a rhetorical question or something?
Rhetorical question.
Why do y'all ask, y'all know the answer?
Validation.
What, you want us to
and
lie or
They
something?
just want
Validation and confirmation.
Yep, that's it. To make sure you're not the only one thinking crazy like that.
Hey, but look, is it crazy?
No, I was being.
No, I'm saying.
But sometimes,
some people think like that.
sometimes it is.
Oh, this is a good one. I just got to think of it, though. It's a good question. What is, and y'all type on the screen. I won't say your name. Just tell us, because we need y'all to help answer this question. What's the most surprising thing that has ever turned you on? What is the most surprising thing that has ever turned you on? What was it? Hurry up and chew your walleye.
Yeah, hold on, wait. Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
We'll come back to that question. I'll put it off to the side.
There's a whole piece of fish in my mouth. Nope.
You know.
Answer that in front of everybody.
Now this didn't turn me on, but it was something weird. It was something I had never heard of, and I'm not gonna say who because they might be watching. But they said to me, "Man," and maybe y'all probably know. I ain't into this.
What you say? We know who it is.
Huh?
We know who it is.
Yeah, somebody told me. I was like, "What is you talking about?" Man, oh girl, whew. She was man. Like what? Yeah, man, I got me some foot last night, man.
Some foot.
I was like, I said, foot, what you do? You kiss her feet? No, man. She gave me some foot. I said, what? I ain't never had no foot, man. And this chick gave me some foot. That foot was good.
Ate his butt?
Huh?
She ate his butt?
No, she gave me some foot.
She took her feet and did what
She
her
took her
hands
feet and did like this.
Oh, man. Man.
I said, what?
I'm like, is this a key word?
And you should see how her toes was curling up while she got some sexy ass feet and those things were so soft on my, I was like, damn.
They had to have had a foot fetish.
Hey, look.
I said, damn. I like pretty feet, but I ain't never thought about that.
Man,
Hold on. Give me your feet.
She got some strong ankles, man.
Right, I was trying to figure out what.
Her ankles are strong.
I said, what in the rat pack is this? I was in shock. Like, what is you talking about? Foot. And we was 5 minutes going. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Foot.
You thought it was a code word for something?
Yeah, I'm like, I thought something. I was missing it. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking
Hey,
about.
did she spit on it? Like,
Right.
yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
He smoke a lot.
All right. Why is it so hard to have a monogamous relationship? Why?
Is it hard?
No, you just. Right. Well, yeah, maybe, okay, let me not throw it away then. I'm sorry. Let's spend some time on that.
You see
I'm
that
sorry.
person write that question?
Right.
This is so awesome.
So this person is probably asking for
It's
themselves.
just-
I didn't think about that. They could be asking for themselves.
Or a friend.
I think
Asking for a friend. Asking for a friend.
It's hard if the other person has a Facebook profile. Because they be trying to entertain them and not be really into no relationship.
Monogamy. Let's see.
I think it's
A lot of people.
I think it's also hard because a lot of people are trying to do what the world do instead of being themselves. They want to chase the rapper or the celebrity who got multiple partners, and they feel like they can do it also.
But sometimes I was gonna go that route with you, but sometimes it's not necessarily about chasing or following, anybody else. Sometimes it's just necessarily what you feel you want. It's just you could just genuinely feel that you want to have more than one, but the world and society makes you feel like you're gonna be condemned if you got more than one. You're a hoe if you're a man and you got more than one. You gotta just say screw everybody else, in my opinion. And when it comes to your relationship, and do what you feel and what works for you. But you in that type of situation, you have to be 100% honest. If you go into the situation and you lying and this, that, and the other, now you got all these other problems that everybody else, all these other problems. But you just got to be honest.
I'm gonna say it's hard. It could be hard for monogamy because of when being in a relationship, there's so many emotions, so many disagreements. You might not have you might have assumptions. You might not think it work. You might be ready to move on. So it's just two people who are not mature enough to understand that relationships going to have problems, and you don't have to actually go out in order to see if y'all gonna be compatible with. Like y'all want to be with each other.
All right.
Well, to go back with you, Tyrone, for me,
Hey, I ain't want them to know my name.
okay,
No, no, go ahead.
for me, I don't want a headache. If you got more than one partner, that means you got to deal with the different attitudes, the different wants, the different needs of multiple partners. Me personally, I don't want that headache.
So look at this. That's you personally, individualized, right? For some people, they don't want that. And then, for me, in my opinion, the right two won't bring you a headache. The right two won't bring you to all of the craziness, this, that, and the other. It depends on how y'all work it out. So each individual man that feels like he wants two women, well, guess what? He needs to be honest with those two women, bring those two women together. You need to roll with it, see how it rolls. And if it's headaches and drama, X, Y, and Z, just understand you don't have the right two. Simple as that.
And this is
real
for some
easy.
other. Yeah, because it's hard. It's hard because most women, they ain't gonna even hear you, but they already know that you probably talking to somebody any damn way. However, the way you do it is, now I gotta get a little ignorant. The way you do it is, you invite them both to the same place. Yeah.
You invite them both.
You have a seat there at the bar. Is it a movie? Oh, I ain't never knew that.
They show up in the same dress. Then E-ball.
Oh yeah. Well, he shouldn't have did that. I ain't gonna do that. So,
Did they have a good time?
and then you tell one to show up at 8:00. You tell the other one to come at 8:15. So now the one that you want to introduce her to, she there first. The other one shows up at 8:15, and then she comes and sits there, and you introduce her. And the music's playing, you're having a good time, and you make sure you buy her a drink too, and then y'all just talk, see how you kick it. Wow. And then you see later on if if y'all kind of get along.
So you see if there's chemistry between the women for real.
That was some good stuff, wasn't
Really,
that dope?
Sam?
That was, come on now, that was dope, right?
No, you tried.
Did you see?
You tried it.
Right. Hey, that night gonna end when somebody call the police.
Ladies, you heard it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it.
Somebody call the police, please.
All right. Now, let's get serious. In light of the recent police officer firings for the Tyrese Nichols case, do you feel that justice was administered fairly in regard to all the officers plus others that were fired? Again.
Next question.
Huh? Well, y'all want to hit this one?
You know what? I'm gonna address it. I'll address it. It is what it is, right? So this is my personal opinion. I believe to a certain degree when we talking about Tyree Nichols, I don't think it like the media was hyped everything up before anything came out. Like the media always do. You hype everything up super fast, right? I don't think that every officer that was there that was present should have been put in jail just because they were present. Yeah, by all means, I feel like they should have stopped the situation. I feel like, you know, the officers that were standing around, they should have stopped the officers that were doing too much, right? But I also believe in cause and effect. I believe like when the lights first came on for the traffic stop, pull over and stop. I believe when he stopped, you know, roll down the window, talk to him, you know. You got the window rolled up. I mean, you know, he tell you to step out the car because you went left the center, and then they had to block you in at the light. Now they kind of get you out the car.
Are we talking about the Memphis guy?
We talking about Tyree Nichols, right?
This is Memphis we talking about?
Yeah. This whole video.
Oh.
I don't know if you watched the video.
Well, I think that all of them should have got fired. And some of them
Well, let me finish. Let me finish saying what I'm saying.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me just finish this real quick. I believe like the fight stops once the handcuffs are on, right? If you running and you fighting X, Y, and Z and you're just resisting whatever, the fight is still on. That's the way I look at it. And any person that puts themselves in the shoes of a law enforcement officer, once the handcuffs are on, the fight stops. But if you're still resisting any officer, and every person that's hearing this right now, put yourself in that place, what are you going to do? You know, you're going to keep the fight going as long as they keep the fight going. What I had a problem with is when he was no longer fighting and they were still beating him. That was disgusting to me. That was horrible. And that's when I feel like those officers that were still beating that man, they should be in prison and they should never see.
And they should get raped. They should get done up the booty hole. And
whatever happens to them in there, they should get it, man.
Yeah.
I believe that. But I'm not going to say that I see every officer that should go because it wasn't every officer involved in that trash.
So, and I respect that. I feel that all of them and more should be fired. I have family members who are the police. I said to my family and cousin, because of the incident that happened to me, because they stick together no matter what. I done had a gun put to my head and I didn't do shit. I pulled up behind the police. And the problem I have with the police is when you know that he or she's wrong and you still want to be on that force, to me, you just as bad as them. If I can go to jail because I was sitting in the car and I didn't know you was going to kill somebody, but I was in the car and I go to jail, so should any goddamn police officer who can stand there and watch all that go down. Because it's a support system that they have, and if the rules for you, it should go for me too. I didn't know this man was about to roll up and shoot him. I had no clue. I didn't have the gun. I was in the car with him, but my ass is going to jail today. Period. So that's my take on it. Is like it's so corrupt that I feel for anybody who joined it. I just did an interview today telling people, join the police, help change it. And I think that that's a way to change it. But I also believe that if you do not get rid of this corruption, I get it, I understand. They put their lives on the line when they leave the house. So I ain't saying this to sound good. I know police officers. I have family members, police officers. First cousin. Friends I grew up with as kids. And I also know some that I grew up with in the street that they chose that side even when they wasn't with the police. Because they was policing that neighborhood. So it's hard to take, but it's real meat. It's real meat.
If I come into your establishment and your server, let's say let's say your server having a bad day,
Mm-hmm.
all right? That's her. I can't fault the next server or the cook or whoever else just because they're in the same area. We need to deal with her. And I think across the board, that's what we need to do. We need to deal with each individual police officer. But I think that the way that police officers are hired need to change. I think that the testing that they go through need to change. I think the requirements need to change.
I totally agree.
There's a lot of things within policing that needs to change. But I can't say that because we got you know how we talk about, like, out of all the criminals in the world, we only see like 10%, if that. Every time you turn on the news and somebody robbed this and shot this and did that, so we're still working in the 10%, right? So now when you look at all of the police, we can't say that every police officer bad. We're still dealing with maybe 10%, and they screwed up, but we need to deal with them individually. I can't judge the next officer based on what
I'm with you on that.
I can't say he need to go to jail because of what he did.
But let me break it down. Let's go with the one server. I'm gonna use that as an example. Mm-hmm. If the one server does something, she or he represents everybody in here.
Yes.
And they say Sam Sylk did that. They don't say the server did that. Right. Sam Sylk did that. Right. Now, you're absolutely correct on what you said. I'm with you. But that's not how the rest of the world perceives that. Does that make sense?
But even a step further is that the culture, if you've got one bad server that is amongst the rest of, all the rest of them, and they're acting a certain way, that culture can be pervasive. It's like, and in the police force and other places, it's like a cancer, and it just spreads. And if 1, 2, 10, 15, 30 think that it's okay to do a thing, and there is no, there's no consequences for that. So sometimes people get in trouble as the example for what you shouldn't do, and sometimes that needs to happen.
And I think that the real question is, after I stated what I said, is how do we fix it where the good officers can go home safely to their families and be able to report a crime of a fellow officer? Like, how can they go home? How can we protect them, him or her, is the real question. Because I believe within my heart, because like I told you, I know officers, and this is not their character. That one, them fools that was down there, that's not the characters of the ones that I know with, I fellowship with, and I talk to.
I think it's all speculation. I think if you had a talk with them and your people that's in law enforcement are like legit, that's not the perception that cops all stick together is some BS. That's not how it really goes.
Like, you trying to tell me, come on, T, you trying to tell me
I'm telling you
that
straight up and down.
if an officer did something wrong, shot and killed somebody, and I'm the officer, I say, yeah, man, Officer Johnson, he shot that man, he shouldn't have done it. You mean I can go home, I can be safe? Are you telling me that?
So, whether he's safe or not,
I'm good.
Let me finish. Let me say this. Whether he's safe or not is not really the question, because he may not be safe. But to say that all police aren't speaking up or standing up or speaking against other police officers is some, and I know this firsthand, is some BS. I know it.
Well, there's a lady here that got fired in Cleveland because she made a comment, and I talked to her myself. She made a comment about something that happened somewhere, and she wanted to, and she called the show, and she posted on Facebook. They terminated her. From Warrensville, there you go. From Warrensville, got fired, out of here.
And I heard about that, and I thought that was screwed up from the story that I read. I don't know her personally.
I talked to her.
Yeah, I'm saying I don't know her personally. I never met her. The story that I read, I thought it was really screwed up. That's all I can say about it, because I don't know. I thought it was really screwed up.
I don't want to get you in trouble. Slow down now. You can't agree.
There's no motivation.
I still need to be able to kick it with you. I don't need to come and pull you off the stage.
For a fellow brother officer to hold his his co-worker, his
So
brother
look-
officer accountable. What is it? Qualified immunity has to go. Any of these multi-million-dollar lawsuits that the families of these poor put upon folks who were killed and beaten and hurt by the police, that needs to come out of the police pension fund. Pay them settlements out of their pockets. Let me be able to hold that particular cop who was convicted of that crime responsible for hurting my family.
Yeah, they've been talking about
Once you
that.
start doing that, once you start breaking them pockets and cop A see that cop B lost everything because of what he did, it's going to be a whole lot of straightening up. Because 2 or 3 dudes that lose everything.
I think that goes back to the way that police are hired. I mean, if you get the right officers in there, that wouldn't even be a question. Because one thing that we don't want a world where no police officers are available, right? So we need to hire the right ones, and in order to hire
Can't do
the
like
right
establishments do.
It's
You
about
got to
money.
take your time. No, but that's
About
real though.
education.
Because what's happening now, to me, in my opinion, because it's not just this ain't no Cleveland thing. That me and
all
Jason
across
just
the
talking about. It's a shortage in every profession everywhere, right?
Yes.
And what happens is people get to start hiring folks just so we can have.
just to get the numbers up.
That's right.
But they
Same
were
thing
like
with
that. It was like that before the shortage. They need to have better psychological testing. They need to do better background
I
checks. They
agree.
need to do.
I think that
Yeah.
they've
and
done
pay more money.
Yeah.
East Cleveland with $15 an hour.
You better leave me alone.
Oh, it's
you
ridiculous.
serious?
You better leave me alone.
Does East Cleveland
It's
even have
insane.
any cops left? Because
Listen,
they arrested 11
no,
people.
about
They
one.
got
listen,
like 20
listen
right
to what I'm going to
Yeah.
say to you real quick. Just listen to this, because that's legit. The more money that you pay a law enforcement officer, the better he's going to do his job. In my thinking, right?
I would
Now
think
listen,
anybody.
you take East Cleveland. Those officers making $15 an hour. Why would you think they're not about to rob the dope boy who's walking around with $10,000? It don't make sense. It don't make sense.
And it
We
goes
gotta-
back to the same thing. What you're saying is, it's the same thing that politicians say. What do politicians say?
Oh, it's about the jobs. If we get the jobs, people are less likely to commit crimes.
Well, I'm with you. If I'm a police officer and I get all these rules, right? I'm trying to abide by the law. And then even when I do a bust, he's getting out again. I make $15 an hour in East Cleveland. Okay? Now, no disrespect. Okay? I didn't finish, I didn't get mine. Okay, but I did go to college, right? But if it's GED and just a high school diploma, and then I'm making $15 an hour, I might get tempted to take the dope from the dope man or to make a deal. I'm not saying that it's right.
I'm not saying that I would, but I understand.
I'm not saying that I would. But there are some that might. You know what I'm saying? We got to have more. And whoever wrote this question, thank y'all. We got to have more dialogue like this.
I always say that too.
We got to
I'm
have, and so just going forward, when y'all write the questions, they're not, and this has never traditionally always been about relationships. It's about, this is not relationship between men and women as far as sex and all that stuff, but relationships within what's going on in our communities. We need to have more dialogue and more conversation, and I think we can get to the bottom of some of these things, and we can kind of understand, because let me say this and let me be clear. You need the police. You need somebody to show the hell up when you need them. That's right.
Let me say, let me say this.
Yeah.
This is some advice that I like to give to everybody. Like, on social media, we see so much how people deal with the police. We're going to just be an asshole from the jump. I'm going to crack the window 1 inch. I ain't going to say nothing to you. I know, like, at the end of the day, if you do, I mean, that's your right to do that, right? But you're going to escalate things just like any other profession. You know, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Treat a man like a man until he give you a reason to be otherwise. You know, if we pull up, roll the window down. If he start to be if he start to give you a reason that you don't feel comfortable, roll the window up 1 inch if that's how you feel. Call your supervisor, do whatever. But I think that we need to stop. We need to stop.
Assuming.
Well, assuming too. Assumptions are horrible. I mean, you might get the best officer that this whole state has or the whole country has, but you didn't gave this.
Turn them
So
to
you're
the
being
mic.
disrespectful.
Sorry.
You have
Oh,
to
yeah,
show
yeah.
respect to
Yeah,
them.
show respect. Just be a man. Just act like, just be a man or a woman. Just be a decent human being until they give you a reason to react otherwise.
But the fear is out here so strong now
Now, I'm
because
about to
it's been
tell-
like
I'm
open
glad you said
season.
that.
So it's people
It's
have
hard.
these
I'm glad
notions.
y'all said
They're
that.
just afraid.
Hey, listen.
From
If
jump.
I run up on you at late night dressed in all black and I put a gun in your head and I tell you to give me your stuff, what you gonna do? That's what fear is. That's what fear is. You know, if you don't want to be stopped in traffic by the police, don't drive a car. If you don't
Amanda,
want,
let me
I'm
get the
just
same
saying.
thing, Amanda.
I think
And then I'm gonna tell my story about that.
when my
I
husband
gotta tell you mine.
gave our son the black man to the black child talk, my husband told him that cop want to go home to his family just like you want to go home to yours. He was like, be calm, be respectful. Don't give him any reason to hold you in that position any longer than you have to. Sometimes you got to bite your tongue. And as people today, and everybody wants their own autonomy, and you can't tell me this. Sometimes you got to swallow that
Go home.
to be able to live tomorrow, to go down there and make that report to say your officer was very disrespectful.
Yes, sir. No,
Cussing at
sir.
him, swearing at him, talking about what you gonna do, this, that.
You're right.
Nothing good ever came from that, ever. Nobody, no citizen ever won an argument from a cop. Let me tell you.
Because that's not where the fight is. The
'Cause
fight
that-
is in the courtroom.
And you know what though? And that's sad. That's really sad. That's sad that you cannot have a conversation with a police officer after you have
No, you
complied.
can have a conversation.
I couldn't.
Listen to what she's saying.
No, right? Because you end up with a gun to your head like me. You end up to the gun to my head, and I didn't do shit. I pulled up behind the police. So I want to tell my story. What happened to me? So I dropped my cousin off, and we just left. It was the last game of preseason. The Bears and the Browns. I was in Chicago. I had on a Browns jersey. Dropped him off, swooped around. I pulled up behind an unmarked car. I don't know that. There's nothing blinking. There's no other cars, nothing going on. So I blew the horn. Doot, doot. Nothing. Blow the horn. Doot, doot. 2 white officers jump out. Yeah, where you coming from? I said, well, I'm coming from a game, just dropped my cousin off. Where you going? I said, I'm going home. I said, is there a problem? He said, a problem? We asked the questions. I said, okay, well, I just answered. I said, I'm going home. Is there a problem? I pulled up behind you. I don't know what's going on. I've never pulled up behind a police officer, blew my horn. He jumps out, asks me where I'm going. I answer where I'm going. And that's not enough. I now have to get out my car. I said, I'm confused. Now, I tell you, I came from a game. I dropped my cousin off. I have on a damn jersey, football jersey. I'm going to tell you the other part I had on that he didn't pay attention to. So I sit there, and he says, give me your license. I said, okay, I'm going to give you my license. I said, but I'm still confused. I'm sorry. I'm respectful. I'm not aggressive. I said, I'm just confused on what happened. I've never been approached like this. The other officer comes around on the side of my truck, jumps up, get the fuck up out of here. Get out. I said, get out. What's going on? What's going on? Get out the car. I said, okay, I'm getting out with my hands up. So I get out. I'm nervous as hell. Getting out. I'm putting my car in. I get out. I'm like this. Get the fuck on the ground. I'm like, they give me all these quick commands. I'm like, I'm sorry. I got out the car. I'm getting out the car. Motherfucker, now what? Bam. Straight to my head. Your bitch ass down there now. Handcuffing. You going to jail today. throw me in the back of the car, tear my truck up. I'm sitting there, I'm like, damn, I'm going to jail. I'm like, man, all this just happened. About 20 minutes later, a car pulls around, another police officer comes back. They out there laughing, talking, ooh. Guy comes over there and he looks in the car. He says, Sam, what you doing back there? I look, this officer works at a club that I work at. I said, I don't know, ask them. He go holler at them. They pull me out the car. Why didn't you tell us you was Sam Sylk, the dude on the radio? Man, are you serious? Blah, 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 woo, 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 woo. That don't matter. I'm not thinking about no radio. I'm not even thinking about radio. Yeah. And I hope this goes viral. I said, well, had you would have asked me or listened to anything I said, you never listened to me. And they never, you know, you're supposed to search, see who the hell I am. I had my license, but I also had on a media pass that gave me access to crimes, to the police scene, because this time I'm a news reporter. It's on me. It's on me. Okay, I go and tell my job what happened. What? I holler at some people I know like I could talk to you. Sylk, let this one go. We got you. They wasn't even supposed to be there.
Hold up, that wasn't like me.
This is not, no, this is some high up folks. I'm really talking about some high up folks.
Okay, yeah.
We looked into it and we found out they wasn't even supposed to be there. It's not their district. Wasn't their district. People I know. We got you, man. Somebody pulled up, came to see me in my store. Came to see me, man. We just chill, man. We gonna take care of this. We don't need this to get out. So my point is sometimes you can comply. Everybody can't tell or live to tell their story. Yeah. But yet I still have faith in some good officers because I know some. But I had to tell a story. My life flashed just like that. And I wasn't pulled over. I pulled behind the police officer. So yeah.
Hey, look, not discrediting the story, I screwed up. But I think, I'm not going to say that but a lot of black men that went through that, and I did too. I don't think mine was as bad. I was on the 114th and Union. 114th and Miles. My sister's car broke down because I'm a mechanic. She calls my mother calls me. We get over there. I get my sister's car to the point where she can drive it to the house. So now it's my sister driving. I'm behind my sister, my mother behind me with my little niece and nephew in the car. She come through the light at 116th and Miles. Police pull her over. Now, my sister went through, I'm behind my sister. They pulled my mother over. Said she ran the light. So we all pull over, and once they go back in the car, they couldn't get her license, go back to the car. You know how big those sidewalks are on 116th and Miles. I didn't want to go to the car because I knew, this is 2000, I know what the police be on. So I kind of went back, I'm like, what's going on? He said I ran the light. Dude, get out the car, get the fuck back in the car. I'm like, I'm going, man, I was just asking what's going on, it's my mother. He said, get over here. I walked back to the police car, hands up. 2 white cops take me, boom, slam me on the hood, face down, cuff me up. I have no idea what I did. Right on 114th, 2 black cops sitting in the car, watching the whole thing go down the whole time. Once they get to walking me around to the car, they pull up. When they pull up, the whole conversation was about me. What did I do? What did this, that, and the other? They spoke on my behalf. There's 4 Cleveland police officers. 2 white, 2 black. The 2 black guys spoke on my behalf, like, what did he do? What did he do? This, that, and the other. After they gave my mother a ticket for running the light, they ended up letting me go. The 2 black cops told me to go downtown. I didn't know nothing about this. Go downtown, file a grievance. I forgot what the city of Cleveland had. They had a whole building to file a grievance with, right? I went down there, filed a grievance. I had a telephone interview. I had to go down there for 2 different hearings, and both of those white cops got fired. Long story short, it's all like you said, like you went home, like it depends on your mindset, man, and where it takes you. You know what I'm saying? For me, I felt like I wanted to do my part, man, to protect my people the best way that I could. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to me, I'm not about to stand there and let nothing go down. That's why I said you got to treat a man like a man, and individually. You got to handle a person individually, because just because we both black men don't mean that we think alike.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
So at the end of the day, I'm still
And thank
stand
God
on
that you had those two
Oh, absolutely.
black officers.
Bro,
or so.
absolutely. To speak
I
on
knew,
your behalf.
and I won't go to say their names, because some of you know them.
Right,
Well,
right.
especially y'all watching. And Chicago is a little different than Cleveland
Oh, yeah.
when it comes to that.
Yeah.
So I'm being 1,000 on
Hey,
that.
keep it real. So
Yeah.
is Atlanta.
Yeah.
So is
Totally
I
different.
can tell you about some cities that I know different.
Now I ain't afraid of them, because I can go back to my old stuff, but I won't
Right,
do
right,
that.
right. I
I'm matured. I want to see change.
Individually, though, treat a man like a man.
You have to.
Treat a man
And
like a
again, the message is we have to get more people who can have dialogue like me and you on the force. If not, now you may say, after you done said all that, you still saying you advocate for to get police officers? Yes, I am. Because we need some good police officers, some law-abiding officers, people who care about their community. I had a guy tell me today, he said, I never wanted to be a police officer. I hated the police.
Me too.
And he's a police officer. And it's because of him that there's hope. And I say that to say again, if we can keep putting more of these type of folks in, and these good officers come out and have dialogue in the community and they can see it, it can change.
True. I have a great friend who's a police officer, and he's a community. He's the person that they sort of put out to the community to interact with businesses and the, and the citizens and things like that, to
Yeah.
put a face on what the department is about. To put a face on
Yes.
the fact that we're here truly to protect and serve, because that is what they're supposed to do. But every officer, unfortunately, is not like that. Every officer is not minded that they are supposed to protect and serve the residents of the community, that they work for whatever community, that they are employed under. But just like we as citizens are supposed to respect them, they have to show the citizens some
Yeah.
respect as well.
Yeah, it's 50-50. You
Cultural
cannot assume,
sensitivity training.
you cannot, like what you said, gave them the talk. You have to give the talk. You know what I'm saying? We have to have that conversation. But we also have to have some good training. Y'all give yourselves a round of applause. We did a whole
that's all
hour, and I like to edit on that versus going back to something else.
Come on, man. One more.
You want one more?
Yeah, we got to change the tone. One more.
Right.
One more. Why do you
How many
think so many people turn to same-sex relationships?
Skip this one. Go to the next one.
They go to the question.
You do. See?
No, we read it. Somebody want to know, so let's have that dialogue.
Because they just tired of what they're dealing with. Yeah, they're
I
tired.
ain't gonna never get tired of a woman.
I mean,
That's just me.
most of
I don't
us,
give
that's
a
the
damn.
case. But some folks, I think they do. I think they just get tired of dealing with whatever
I think
they've
a
been
dude was
dealing
just already gay. I don't think he just one day said, "I'm tired of women."
Yeah, I think he was already there.
I can't.
So
I
this
don't know.
this might
The
be a-
homosexuals want to answer the question.
Might be a double standard. I know it's a double standard.
Because I hear women that's told women. I've heard some women say, "I'm tired. You might as well try this," because
Now, the only thing a woman can do to me is show me a man, okay?
Oh, that's right.
So maybe
Listen, like,
maybe next week we'll probably have somebody here to help with this question.
yes,
But for me, this is my personal opinion. I feel like it's easier for somebody to go with the same sex. I might be wrong. I don't know. I'm not in that world. But most women that I know, they went to women because it was easier. They couldn't handle trying to figure a man out.
But domestic violence is higher amongst same-sex couples, particularly female couples,
I heard that.
than it is in
Isn't
heterosexual
that
couples. Domestic violence is higher in same-sex couples than it is in heterosexual couples, particularly female to female couples.
Much higher.
Much higher.
A lot of people that I know said they turned to it because of trauma or something that happened to them as a child. And especially if it was a male and a male did something to them, they ended up liking the feeling, even though they're being abused that way, they like that feeling. And then with women who was molested or raped by somebody, they don't want to be with a man no more because they was traumatized that way.
But what about those that their cousins, heterosexual cousins, tried to mess with them? Did that mean that they wanted cousins later on?
You know what? I was talking to my husband about that because I cannot stand that phrase or say kissing cousins. Like, no, like that is.
No, it's not. But no, I was being funny.
I understand.
But it happens. This is something I gotta mention because we don't ever want to tackle the real deal.
Right.
Because people are too embarrassed.
No.
You have young kids back in the day that was playing house and they was cousins.
Exactly.
First cousin, second cousin.
Exactly.
So they didn't decide that they got older, they wanted to mess with cousins. You know what I'm saying? So I think some people, not saying all, some people, they choose because that's what they like. And I do agree with what you're saying because they was turned on. They was not turned on. They was touched. They wind up, that's the feeling that they remember. And they look for it from that. Yeah. But we do need to talk about that too.
So listen, first, I would like to say, I want everybody to watch this documentary called "What Is a Woman."
What's it?
I'm not sure what it's on, but it's called "What Is a Woman." This documentary, you just got to watch it. It goes into talking about a whole lot of this, right? But what I find very odd is that the numbers are extremely high in America. Out of all the places in the world, like it's through the roof in the United States. But this is where we normalize everything, right? Y'all seen those red Super Mario Brother boots that they got going on?
What? No.
You got all these people like, oh, I want a pair.
Yes.
I want a pair of these. I want a pair. They look so stupid. But because they're out here, we're going to normalize this, right? We make everything okay here when it's not necessarily okay. And then when you have an opinion that goes against what they said was okay, then you become the weirdo. You become the problem. You become like it's illegal, to use hate crimes and call somebody gay or to call somebody, hell, if you go on to social media and try to type in something about a spick, a Hispanic person, and the derogatory meaning, right? You're gonna probably end up getting blocked on Facebook, right? But you can use nigga all day long. You can say whatever this, that, and the other. We pick and choose in this country what we're going to accept and what we're not going to accept. And keep it all the way real. We all know this. Homosexual couples spend a whole lot of money wherever they go. And I think that's probably the biggest agenda. We already got the population control issue. Every homosexual they say is normal, but they wouldn't even be here without a heterosexual couple. So it's like, what makes sense to me may not make sense. I don't know, man. I got a whole lot of thoughts about it. I'm against it. Y'all do it, but y'all do what y'all want to do. It don't affect my butthole. The mic. You got to get on the mic. Got to get on the mic.
Oh, thank you.
Can you turn this mic up? Or you got to just yell in there?
My name is Michael. I'm going to step out of the box and say something. I don't know. It just came to me as we were
It's
sitting
all right.
here.
We just talking, bro.
Okay. The Creator God created all men and women. Why is the subject so difficult to understand that woman made man and female? God is male and female. And we get homosexual subjects mixed up so bad. If God came in as a homosexual, what would you do? Would you dispute that he would say he was God and because he is both genders? And we are both genders. We both have male and female hormones. So I'm never going to say a woman is not a God. She is God. She comes through and brings us all on the planet. But we have such a problem with both genders in one person, and God is all that. He created all men and women. And we both have both genes in us. So because one dominated another, you want to choose that gene over the other one, then we make it a problem. That's all I want to say.
That's very. First of all, you said I get it. I understand where you're coming from. I understand exactly where you're coming from. So I would ask you this: give him back the mic. Give him back the mic. Give him back the mic. Do you believe that when God said it wasn't good for man to be alone? I'm just using my imagination, because I'm just using just like you using yours. When God said that man shouldn't be alone, so he made woman, right? God could have just made a bunch of men in my imagination, but he didn't choose to do that. He chose the woman, which goes back to what you said. He still took the woman from the man. If you believe that's what do you believe that or no?
I believe the woman was, to me, my theory.
Yeah.
Woman was first. Men are second. We are the byproduct of a woman. No man has bought any being on this planet. So she is on a higher level than we are. And she gave us power to be the helpmates of this planet. But we looking at them like they are second or third or whatever. They always been first. Even if they consider themselves, or the media or society considers them second class or whatever, less money and all that old kind of stuff made. Woman gonna get all the money anyway, even if that's just a part of the system. All I'm saying is, I don't want to stay on that problem so long. It's so many homosexuals, or what we call homosexuals, in everybody.
Well,
everybody has
me.
some kind of gender problem.
There's no homosexual in me, so I can't.
You
say,
have male and female in you too.
Check this out. So now you're talking about a science. You're talking about a matter of chromosomes.
I'm talking about science.
Hold on.
I'm talking about science.
So when you're talking about science, you're talking about a matter of chromosomes. You're talking about the kinetic energy we're building. You're talking about atoms. You're talking about the different makeup of each individual that makes us male and female, right? Yeah. So in the beginning, when you're talking about whether God was male or female, hold on. Hear what I don't never say. Listen, what I'm telling you. I got you. Rather, God was male or female or both. Okay. However it play out. Let's say, however it play out, right? God created a man, correct? Okay, so you can't. Okay, go ahead. If you're gonna bring up the God in this, man, we're gonna have to stay on the same part of this conversation here, because at the end of the day, if God created this man and then he took a rib from this man to give him company, because that's what the word is saying, and I'm not even all on.
But he might not believe in the word that you believe in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He don't believe that.
I wasn't trained to do that and think the same way, but you got to think out of the box sometime and say, did that really happen?
Well,
did man give woman
a
rib to be her? No, she gave us a rib to be us.
All right, let's look at it differently.
I look at it that way.
Protons and neutrons.
She has everything.
Protons and neutrons, you got to have them separate, right? But you need both to make everything, correct? So
well, you need a woman.
Hold on, you take a battery. Need a woman. You take a battery. You need a positive and a negative. You take whatever you take, you're gonna always need a positive and a negative, right? You can't bring two positives together. You can't bring two negatives together and have a successful anything. At the end of the day, we're different for a reason. We're not. In my opinion, we're not supposed to be intertwined like that solely. Okay, I'm gonna leave it.
So I don't even. One thing
I would boil it down to this. When a woman has a female or a male baby, she doesn't discriminate about breastfeeding either one. And a woman or a man get the same milk the
You
same
missing
way.
all this, Fred. This is some good shit.
So
This is
say-
the hey, come on, man. I'm
a
enjoying
woman
this, man.
can't like another woman because she can.
This is
You
good.
said
shit.
because a woman can breastfeed her children,
Woman or boy.
a man can't breastfeed his children.
That's why you're not going to be first in nothing, because you can't do nothing without her.
So you believe? So can I ask you a question? Are you a homosexual?
No.
Okay. And-
I'm,
Sure.
I'm never.
I didn't think he. Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. Is he a homosexual? So I got to answer one of your questions that you asked on the theory side, because I got to hit it on the spiritual side. You said that if God, we found out that God was a woman, what would we do?
Or a homosexual.
Well, nah, I ain't gonna. Nah, you going too damn far, homosexual.
Well, God is both. So
Okay.
if you put a word, a term on it,
What's his
it don't
belief,
really
though?
mean
We need to understand
anything.
what his belief. What's your,
Well, he don't believe in the
what's your
Bible. He don't
spiritual
believe
belief?
in
Do you have
King
any?
James. He don't believe in that.
Just like most of us.
What do you believe now?
I believe in the Creator and the universe.
So no,
when,
really-
I say, I don't say Jesus.
Yeah.
I say the creation, the Creator, which is
So so go ahead to let Tacoma come back.
But what
It's
I-
all us males talking and they supposed to be first, so we talking too
first.
much.
That's first. Yeah.
All right.
Let them talk. They can teach us something.
So, of course, to your point, obviously, we know that all mankind comes from females. Women only have X chromosomes. Men have X and Y because you come from a female. So you have to have part of a woman in you if you come from a woman.
Hey, this woman come first. You got to start cutting her off.
What I'd like to say though is, just because his viewpoint may be different than maybe even the majority of us in this edifice, does that make it wrong? Does that make it worth condemnation? Does that make it worth criticism? Does that make it worth looking at him as though there's a problem just because it's not what we believe? We want to talk about tolerance, but as soon as somebody says something that's different than what we believe or what the majority believe, we're not tolerant. We want to jump down somebody's throat, or we want to question them about what it is that they're saying, when what he's saying, it's not doing anybody any physical harm. It's not doing anybody any damage. In fact, it could be expanding the mindset, the thought process of somebody sitting here. But we want to be tolerant, but we don't offer the same tolerance to people who are different and think differently than us.
I gotta before I forget my thought. I'm glad you said that, which I want to get to his first original question. What if you found out God was A, B, C, D, blah, 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 woo, 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 and it wasn't what you believe, right? First of all, I'm never not going to believe on what I believe, right? But let's just say, using my spiritual imagination, if that was the case, the blood that I believe in, he ain't going to hold that against me. He's not. Just like you believe what you believe, then he is not going to hold that against me, because that's what I believe. That's what my faith is. That's where I'm at. So I can't be in a point in state where I'm like, oh, well, maybe so. Well, maybe so. And then I'm schizophrenic and I won't make it in, period. But because I believe I believe, and his grace is what it is, because I can really dive down into questions when it comes to the Bible. So I'm okay to have this conversation, but not, and I respect his comment. I respect what he's saying. So I said, this is some great stuff. I can respect it to the point that it does not take me to a whole nother level. To where, because I want to say this. Now, some church people are not going to agree with me on this. But here's the problem that y'all have with this hate and is sending folks to hell. All right? I believe that God made all of us, and just like he died on the cross, and y'all sit up and said he died for this, his blood for that, it's for the homosexual, for the lesbians, for the robber, for the thief, for everybody. That's what I believe. So you ain't gonna count a whole person out just on your belief. That's just me. Because how the hell you gonna sit over here? You gonna mean tell me, man, you ought to catch, this is some good meat. You mean tell me that God's going to, oh, I'm really going to get criticism on this one, that God is going to really, you really going to hell, 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 and all you did was decide to love another man or woman. I love women. I believe what I believe. But your ass done killed somebody. And we got people sitting over here that murdered people. More than one. And if they can make it in.
But your word tells you it's only one unforgivable sin. The rest of them are equal.
Why can't we provoke thought?
What about that
My
part?
whole thing is provoking thought. We are in a box. We're afraid to even jump out and smell the roses and peep back in. We rather stay in that box and remember the same old teachings they taught us 300-400 years
You're
ago.
correct,
And
but
we have
some
not
people-
we haven't grown any.
Some people can't mentally handle that. Like what I just
You
said.
gotta provoke the thought.
No. You can provoke it, but they are not mentally capable of being. You got to understand. There are people who cannot have the conversation me and you are having. They just can't.
Does that mean we don't have it?
No. And some of them will never get it. And so we can't get mad at the ones who can't have this great conversation that we was going to end earlier before you came. Thank you. Everybody can't have a conversation like that. And that's with themselves. It ain't got nothing to do with you or me. It's them. And you can't be mad at them just like you don't want them to be mad about you talking about jumping in outside the box.
And for the girl that asked me was I homosexual because
I asked you that. Yeah. No, it's a real question. Because of what I believe, I want to know, are you a homosexual? So you can stand up and feel like comfortable to say, I'm a homosexual and this is how I feel. So I asked you that question. Now you're judging because all homosexuals don't flame.
Hey, look, I think,
now that's offensive.
Hold on, I don't.
You just as bad as what you just said.
I don't look. I don't think look,
he has on pink. Hold on. You got on pink. He's not a homosexual.
I don't think that the question was asked, were you homosexual because you asked it. I think it was more so your delivery, and it seemed like you were defending it more than like.
There you go.
The
We just want to know.
I don't think that nobody, bro. Listen to me, brother. Looking at you firsthand, I wouldn't think you was homosexual. But then when you start speaking the way you delivered it, I question it myself. Not saying that you are, because I don't know and I don't even care. If that's what you choose to do, bro, that's what you choose to do. But that was that. But let me say this, and let me say this. When Morgan Freeman impregnated his 18-year-old granddaughter,
that was sick.
The whole world was like, "Oh, he tripping."
That was his blood. Was that his blood?
His step granddaughter.
It was still sick.
He raised his girl.
He was sick still to me.
So it was almost like he just groomed her, you know. And now he get her pregnant. And everybody had an opinion. They said what they wanted to say, and the whole world just was on them, right? When it comes to homosexual relationships, it's almost like you just got to take it. You can't say nothing. If you got, again, like I said earlier, if you got an opinion on it, then you're the problem. If you say what you feel or what you think,
I'm gonna say it. Y'all can start
I'm
marching.
gonna say it too. It is what it is.
Well, I'm gonna march back at you.
But this is that situation. This is the only topic it seems like that you can't really say nothing, because if you do, you're like overweight women. Like it becomes like what they call it, body shaming.
Well,
like why couldn't? No, you was first. Go ahead.
Sometimes people don't know how to offer their opinion without putting down or being so derogatory or aggressive toward another one. I think that we can have the opinions that we have, but folks just take it overboard. If you've seen the reason why, beating or putting your hands on a homosexual is a hate crime, as other things, is because they have done some tremendously disgusting, despicable, horrible, inhumane things to people just for something that folks do in the privacy of their own home. That doesn't have anything to do with the person that beat them up.
But you can
So
still
we
say
have
nigga
to-
all day long and nothing happens.
I'm not saying that
I
that's
gotta
okay,
answer that
but
when
we
you-
ourselves walk around saying it. So sometimes it gives folks
They
the
walk around
impression
calling each
that
other
it's
fags if
okay.
they want to, like as an inside joke between the two of them.
They
Queer
call
fags.
each other other stuff. They
They can
don't.
call
They
each other
call each
whatever.
other girl.
But I'm
more
saying they
than
can
say
call
fag.
each other whatever they want to call each other, and it's okay. Just like black men, we can call each other niggas all day long amongst each other, and for whatever reason, that's okay, right? But now that the law gets involved, if you say fag in the public setting, then you're gonna have some consequences. But if you say nigga in the public setting, then
Depends where you are.
They at the door. They're coming for you right now,
It
Tyrone.
depends where you are.
Tyrone, what's wrong with you? What's wrong
hey,
with
come
you?
on with me. Let's go. Let's
Where you
go.
are.
I wanted to finish, so so I said that about that. But then my last thing was people just fall in love with who they fall in love with. You know, I have a daughter who is married to a woman because of this lady here. They were looking for somebody to marry them, and they wouldn't. And I thought that she did weddings because she spoke at one of her friends' weddings. She didn't, but she went and got ordained so that she can marry my daughter and her partner. And it's like, well, we talked about having soulmates before. You know, you can have a soulmate that's a friend, and you can have a soulmate that's a male partner, female partner, whatever the case may be. But you just, love is love. Love is love. And just like we said too, one sin is not greater than the other sin. So it don't, whatever we doing out here, it's
I ain't
like,
got time to send nobody to hell for who you love. That's just me. I ain't got time for it.
'Cause I don't have
And
a
I ain't
heaven
about to
or hell
lose a
appreciation.
friend over y'all either. I'm sorry.
You can still have an opinion though.
I have my opinion.
Right.
Now, as long as they don't get upset about my opinion.
I ain't condemning nobody, but
I'm
I
not
got my
gonna condemn
opinion.
nobody.
Respectful and deliberate.
Yeah, I
Your
don't.
opinion.
You know what? This is what I believe, but that I also listen. I'm not about to sit over here and have. I know what you do. I know what you do. I know what you do. Oh, y'all come to my house. You can't come to my house and be friends. That's just me. I know, nigga. I know what you done, who you robbed. I know. Now, some people ain't gonna let Rob.
I got a
come to my
problem
house,
there,
though.
man. Cause listen,
Some people ain't gonna let.
hey,
Some robbers ain't gonna. The robber, you can stay. I'm saying, go ahead. We've been holding you back.
All
Go
right,
ahead.
so to me, I would say that because exactly
nigga
what
think
just
you
happened,
robbed
a lot of people are born with different beliefs, which is causing a change in the world. So if I'm a child that wasn't taught anything, and then I'm listening to him, his opinion, and then I'm listening to other people's opinion, that cause confusion, where a child is going to be raised confused, definitely based off of what they see on TV, their peer pressure, the peer pressure from other people that they surrounded by, that can cause people to think about being gay, transgender, whatever. And then I know when I was younger, like in high school, I played basketball. I went to East Tech, so there was a lot of that going on. And I experienced some girls probably being hurt by a man and like, all right, probably already curious in their mind and deciding to go ahead and just be with another woman, trying it out. And then there were some men that were, a lot of men, they were interested in having threesomes. So they probably had a girlfriend and was saying, oh, I want to experience this. And this girl was so in love with him, so they wanted to give that to their man. So I personally think that it's a lot of peer pressure and a lot of confusion that is causing people to turn gay.
To answer the question. So if y'all just tuning in, the question is, why do you think so many people are turning to saying, I'm going to bring this up tomorrow. It's going to be our topic tomorrow. Text me and remind me that, please.
imagine a world where everybody, the lights is flashing, everybody's now same sex. I guess we only got like 50 more years left on Earth, right? Because that's.
Now I got to be
would-
ignorant, Tyrone. Hold on, so y'all can understand this. Hold on, so y'all can
So
understand
science
this.
is okay.
That y'all, this ain't, I'm not making this up. You find it. They have already now, you can buy a baby. I'm not talking about getting your genes, you and y'all, what they call that? They actually got hubs where they're making babies.
You can buy a celebrity baby.
They're
cost a
making
lot.
babies like
Cabbage Patch Kids.
like Cabbage Patch babies. No, seriously. No, and you just pay for the baby. They already have artificial intelligence. You already, all of us in here, have already made the next whatever it's going to be. Because of they're taking this, doing this, got your eyes, got all that, and they know your habits. You cannot tell me that you have never been sitting thinking about something on your phone and it showed up.
Happens all the time.
On what you want to buy, all of a sudden it's in your phone.
All the time.
So they're already creating the future is here, whether you want to accept it or not. The Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that we watched a long time ago, yeah, Total Recall, that's already here now. So there are babies, to answer your question, but how can we reproduce? They have already decided, and they're making it where you go in, you're going to buy your child.
So the
Surely there are
human
human
form is going to be
clones
gone.
already.
Yes, it will be.
That's why the human form.
It's going to be gone.
Hey, did you hear about the AI machines? I mean, the computers though that they had built, and they were like human form, and they turned them off, and the one computer reprogrammed itself and started killing folks. Dude, it was crazy.
And so this, and yeah.
Oh, it's real.
We not gonna keep talking about this because we don't want the robots to turn us off. But Jason, you wanted to close out with something.
To go back to his thing, I feel like when you say people don't jump out the box, I think the world is jumping out the box. And for me,
I do. I think that's why
yeah,
all
and
these.
that's me.
Dwayne Wade is a good example.
Well,
But
see,
go ahead.
See,
You a wild
see,
boy.
for me, I was raised Baptist, but to go back to what happened to me, it had to be questioned everything that I believed in before. Now I believe in God, but a lot of things, far as all those commandments, I don't believe in them no more. Some things had to change because I felt like I was programmed, and we could talk about it.
No. So I'm gonna help you out.
Yeah.
They gonna really come after me. I'm gonna get barred from some places.
Security. Walk me to my car.
Let me say this. I believe in the Word of God.
Yes.
I believe in God. I believe in Christ. I believe in the Holy Ghost. I believe in the blood. I believe that, right?
Yes.
So I believe that some people are born gay.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that.
Yes. Exactly.
And I would not take that back. So, well, how can you say that, Sam? You just said what you said. Well, the Word of God said we all was born in sin. That's what the Word says. Am I right?
Right.
If we all was born in sin, some people was born a thief. Who taught your child how to lie?
Yeah.
Let's remove sex right now. I want y'all to remove sex.
Let's get there.
Who taught you how to lie as a baby?
My mama.
He says, Mama. Sin did. 1 year old. Lying.
Yeah.
Still hide behind candy, behind cookie, behind their back. Who taught the baby that? Okay? It's in you, right? So now, moving forward from that, I heard somebody say, okay, fine, but you need to get saved from that. All right? Well, you still got saved and you still sinning.
Right.
In order to make it in, you need to repent daily, every day. Does that make sense? You need to tell the Lord, that's me, Father God, I'm sorry. If I have a wrong thought about you, according to the Word of God, I can go to where? Hell, if I don't repent. If that's the way you believe. So, in my opinion, we all were born in sin, right? You have to figure it out between you and God on how you gonna do. Now, all y'all judging who decide to send people to hell, you don't have the authority. It's okay to judge, so you can't judge me. Yes, I can judge you, because I have to make a decision, left or right. Which you don't have because you don't really read the scripture. Jesus allowed them to do judgment. He said, stop. Y'all made y'all call. Is it not what he said in the word? He stopped them. They was about to stone her. He said, hold on, stop. He without sin cast the first stone. Nobody could do that. He said, you judge, but you can't sentence nobody. You don't have the authority to do that. Your job, my job, I'm talking about me, my job is to love everybody. That's just Sam. I may not agree on certain things, but if you're not killing somebody, robbing somebody, I don't care, man, I'm good. Let me holler at you, brother. Let me holler at you, sister. That's just Sam. So y'all need to learn how to love more and be able to have a conversation with my man over here. Thank you. We was getting ready to go, but you came with your thought provoking. We thank you for that. Appreciate it. Yeah, we gotta have more. Yeah, man. Thank you. I ain't got time for that. You know what I mean? People I wouldn't have in my life if I would have went off of y'all shit.
The only reason I came in here is to give that.
All right.
That's the only reason. I just stopped in here.
Yeah, we glad you stopped in.
You know, why not?
We appreciate it. And come back next week too.
I have something to say right now.
There's gonna be more people next week. We be right. You say you delivered your message.
I just think that there's nothing wrong with people having their own perspective of things, their own opinions. But just like we say, as far as sin, as far as we have to live with the consequences that we have. So if you choose to be a girl and you want to be with a girl, that's on you. But I don't think you should be having no baby. And that was the point of why it was created, for a man and a woman, so that they can have a child. So when we trying to throw different things as far as what is it that they trying to do to create some type of science to create a baby so that they can have a baby, that's not part of what God wanted to do. So
I would agree on that part.
Why are we trying to change
we messing with a whole nother. You can't create this.
Yeah, God had
the worst thing that happened to humanity was humans. Human was the worst thing that happened to humanity. We destroyed this place.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have your thoughts, that's your thoughts. But you're not changing the world. You're not making a better place by changing the way that God created things to be.
But we create a better place when we love one another.
All right, we got one more back here.
Heterosexual couples who abuse children.
Who?
Homosexual.
There's heterosexual. Going back to what you said. Now I hear what you're saying. There are, because the first thing that people think, because I ain't gonna lie, I was like, I don't want no two men raising this boy. Because when I was younger, I was like, they gonna be doing this and that. Nigga, you got straight heterosexual uncles, well, they're not heterosexual, but couples messing with kids. Am I lying? Can somebody please correct me if I'm wrong? Beating and abusing. You got women sexually abusing kids. Everybody always put it on the man. There's women that's doing it.
You got Dwayne Wade and his wife abusing a kid.
What?
I have a question.
Right. Yeah.
I always wanted to know what a sin is. I don't know what a sin is.
Now you gonna keep us here for a whole nother 30 minutes. You gonna keep me here for a whole nother 30 minutes,
hey,
man.
That's my dude. But you see, I looked at him, I'm like,
right. He had to get up on that one. Right. Hey, if you come next week, we're gonna address what is sin.
Run that
I love that. What is sin?
Hey, make that question number one. We're gonna need some time for that.
Listen, you got an assignment. What is sin, and what was the other one I told you that I want to do tomorrow? See, you forgot.
I did.
Okay.
Oh, we can play it back.
Well, I need you to play it back for me. Hey, man, thank you all for coming out. Thank you all for watching. Yes, sir. Show this video. Share it to everybody. Share it. This was probably one of the best conversations we had in a long time. I got to get out of here. I got to go get some sleep. And I got to do some emails. But God bless y'all. Put your hands together for yourselves. Tyrone, thank you. Tacoma, thank you. All right.
It's the Sam Sylk. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa.